Welcome to my dynamic Excel dashboard creation. So today I'm going to show you how to create this particular beautiful dashboard from the scratch. So right here we have this particular Super Bowl commercial dashboard. So I'm going to actually show you new functionalities I have added to my dashboard today. Like if I click on this one right now, it's going to show me more information about this particular dashboard. Can you see this right now? It changes exactly. So now if I actually close this, it's going to actually get itself hidden. So we did this without any single VBA. I'm going to show you how to do that. So right now we have much more information right here that we can actually display, and it's very dynamic and interactive. And if I actually hover over this right now, you see watch ads on YouTube, which means this particular data set is actually about a company that runs ads. So we're actually trying to let them know how their next ad should be. So they have TV ad and they have YouTube ad. So we're able to actually get everything done the way it should be for them to make more decisions. So coming back to this particular part right here, here is our data set. It looks a little bit cumbersome because what happens is this: it has some bunch of true and false and some bunch of links. So what can you do with this? You have to be very careful with how you analyze this. Now, what helps us to have this particular dashboard created is what we call data dictionary. With this data dictionary right here, it tells us about each column, what it entails, and what you should do with it. So with this particular data dictionary, you can be able to tell what you should do. So I'm going to show you from the scratch how to use this to actually get what we are doing done judiciously. Okay, going back to this particular dashboard, so this is what it is that we're going to be creating today. So let us begin with a new workbook to have this created the way it should be. Okay, before we start to do anything on the dashboard environment, so we have to take care of the data part right here. So Ctrl T will help us to actually create a formal table for this particular data. And here we go. I can quickly change the look of my table by going right here and can change any of the look, like any of this one right here. I love to use this one so many times, so I'm going to have to expand it out whatsoever. So I have it split it out and all that. So now that we have gotten this ready, so what do we do next? It's very simple and easy. So we always love to go to our okay, now we add a new sheet right here. So I just named the sheet dashboard. So what we can do, I love to take the full screen, even if I'm not going to use the full screen. So I just want to make my dashboard to look some kind of, a very good dashboard that doesn't even look like Excel. So what am I going to do? Now I have a plain worksheet right now. It is time to change the color to give it the right color that we are going to use for this. Okay, to change the background color right now, Ctrl A will help you have it highlighted. So I'm going to go right here and get to the second one here. And here we go. This is what we have used. Okay, after this, we need to create some cards. I'm going to go to Insert, and from Insert Illustrations, then I'm going to go to my shapes. And here we go. I'm going to pick this one right here, drag it a little bit down, and go to the top level to change the, the height and the weight for it. So here we are on this particular part right here. I'm going to make it 1.03 by what? By 4.73. So by 4.73. So here we go. We have something like this, and it's a little bit too curvy for me. So I'm just going to make sure I reduce it something like this. And now here we go. So for the color, I'm going to Ctrl 1 to have the color changed. I'm going to come right here. I'll come here and I'm going to choose this particular white. And here we go. So we have to go to line and actually say no line for it. And I can actually get this away from here. Now I can actually sit with this one right to this particular part here. So after doing this, I'm going to have this one duplicated right now. I have it duplicated. So it is time for me to take care of the next one. On the next one, we have to go ahead and change the height and the weight as well. So here we go right here. So what we can quickly do is just to come to this particular weight aspect and change to 3.8 2. So quickly we have something like this, and we can come back here and actually make sure it sits right here. And if you're not too saturated with where it should be, so just hold on and actually hold on down, like go to this particular top level, go to format, go to align, and actually say move left. Now it will definitely align them perfectly on the left side, right? So I can actually duplicate this right now. I'm going to bring this right here. Can actually make it a little bit smaller and actually have it sitting right here. So let's see what it is. So I'm going to make sure it sits right here rightly, and I'm going to make sure I get it down to this particular level. And here we go. We have something like this. So after we might have done with this, what is next for us to do right now is for we to actually get this particular card again and have it duplicated. I'm going to bring it all the way down. So on this one, we're going to be creating a giant card. So go to the formats, and here we go again. I'm going to make here to be some kind of 3. That is the height. Right here, I'm going to make it some kind of 6.09. So it's going to be 6.09. So here we go. So if we go back right now, this is what we have, something as huge as this, but the curveness is some kind of too much for us, so we can't bear it. So we can actually go ahead and make it some kind of reduced a little bit. So now it is time for we to situate this right here rightly. So we just have to go and make sure it's a little bit closer to this one here, and I can actually hold on this, and I'm gonna go right here and go and move this to the left. So I always love accuracy. So right now we have something like this. So it is time for we to start actually getting our analysis right on board. Okay, the next thing we need is to get an image right here. It's very simple. I'm going to go to my previous one. So I'm going to have those images for you to actually work with. So here we go. If I come right here right now, I see those bunch of images. I'm going to pick this one right here, copy it, and go to the appropriate place. Okay, now here we are. I'm gonna have it pasted. So I have something like this. So we have to change the height and the width of this particular one right here. Just for we to have something that syncs together. That is why I'm actually changing the height and the width for you, so that you can see what numbers I'm actually using. So I'm gonna use 1.39. So 1.39 by what? It's gonna be by 2.23 So here we go. So now if I go on the full screen right now, this is what we have. I'm gonna have this right here, sitting right here right now. I love it. So okay, the next thing we do is just to have this one duplicated. So once I have gotten it like this, I'm gonna actually make sure I don't have any curveness for it. So I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. So now let us see what we're trying to do right here. So I'm gonna bring it to actually cover here all of it, so I have it covered. So I'm gonna hold this one. So if I'm actually adjusting it, I can see what I'm adjusting right now. I'll release it, and after I'm done with this, I'm gonna have it duplicated again for the second time. I'm gonna keep this right here, and I'm gonna work with this. So Ctrl+1, I have this. I'm gonna say no fill for it. So for now, I'm gonna say solid line, and once the solid line comes up, I just have to move it a little bit away from here. I just want to make sure I increase the width of the solid line. So now it covers this for me. So I love this like this. So I'm gonna go right here and change this solid line to the same thing I have used right for the card color. So now this is what it is that I have. So you might not see the effect right now, but it works. It works very well. So after that, I'm gonna have this one right here to cover this up. So I'm gonna cover this up. So once I have it covered, so I'm gonna do the same Ctrl+1 again. I'm gonna come all the way to this particular arc space here. I'm gonna say gradient fill. So clicking on that gradient fill right here, I don't like the previous one to be right on it. Let's say we don't have it right here. I'm gonna show you how to get this rightly done. So let's say we have it some kind of something like this, and this is what it is. So now what you can do is just to come right here and choose the the area how you want it to go. So how we want it to go right now is just like this, right? So it's like this. We want this one to be beneath it, and once we've gotten this right now, the color is another thing that is very important. So if I actually scroll all the way down right now, we have 135% transparency, right? And the color is this. In case you don't have the color to be used, so go down to this particular aspect right here. You'll see the color I've used, 3623-207. So right, that is the color we have just chose for it. And now we can actually decide to bring this all the way right here, right now. So now it's not giving us what I want. So what we need to do is just to go back right here and see what it is that we are trying to do. So this is how we want it to actually go, and it has some kind of giving us this particular effect, right? So what can we do with this? We need it because we want to have some text right here. So I'm going to go to the top level. I'm going to have it closed. Right now I have something just like this. So I might really feel like, okay, I want to make sure I take it down this way, and this is what it is, right? So now what do we do next? I'm going to go to the top level, developer, insert, and here we have this particular combo box, right? So I'm going to drag the combo box right here right now. So I have my combo box right here. So after I might have gotten my combo box right here, I don't want the combo box to look just like this. I want something different for it. So now we need to make our dashboard to look some kind of very beautiful. So I'm gonna have to make sure it's not rounded. So we just have to go zoom. I'm gonna bring it like this. So here we go. I'm gonna make sure I get it to cover all this particular aspect right here. So the dark side is where I want to have something covered, right? I'm gonna make sure I move it. So once I've done that, Ctrl+1. So we just want to say no fill, and here we go. So now solid line, and I just want to make sure I increase the weight until it closes what I want to have closed for me, and there we go, right? So if I should just go away right now, this is what I have. So you can actually see this now. So the black side is not actually right on it. So now if I actually go ahead and remove it away from here right now, you can see how ugly it is without this particular one right here. So Ctrl+Z will help us to actually get it back, and we have something that's beautiful as this. So if I come back to my finished dashboard right here, so what I have analyzed here right now is ads type. So we have funny ads, we have serious ads. So, and now we have lots of things we can actually display. How many records do we have on funny ads and serious ads? And I want to see how many YouTube view do we have, and I want to see the estimated revenue cost, the estimated cost for the ad and all that. So you can see what it is right now. So we just want to display something like this, and here we go. How do we go ahead and create something like this? So we don't really understand what this is all about without the help of the dictionary. Okay, I have just added a new sheet called analysis. So right now I'm going to go to my data set right here, click on the data part, right, and go to insert, and now we need to insert a pivot table. And once we have this pivot table inserted, so what we need to do right now, we need to tell pivot table we want to use existing worksheet. I'm going to go all the way down to my analysis, and here we go. We have to locate where we want to have it right in. So let us use this particular part right here and go ahead and click on OK, and here we go. We have just created our first pivot table. So right now, scrolling to this particular part right here, we can go to the funny aspect, right, click on it, and here we go. We have the funny right here, and it is giving us true and false. So if you remember what we have seen previously, you would know how to work with this particular true and false right now without thinking of like what the heck is going on. So going back on it, so I can actually bring this particular funny as well right here. It's going to default itself to count for me. So how many of the true and how many of the falses we have, right? So now that we've gotten this right here, we just want to scroll all the way down a little bit. So we want to see, the estimated cost, the YouTube view, the YouTube like, and the TV, views as well. Can you see that right now? So once we have just gotten this done quickly, I just want to do something. I can actually come right here and make sure I highlight every single part of it. Control H will help me do what I want to achieve. I want to remove this particular sum of at the same time. So I'm going to say sum of. I just want to replace that with nothing. So here we go. We have all of them removed. I'm going to have it closed, right? So what is left for me to get removed right now is this particular account right here. I'm going to say records. So I have records right here. I just have to make sure I click on OK, and there we go. So nicely, we have just gotten this done right here. So what can we do next? I'm going to actually make sure I click on this and go to the top level. For what I want to have removed this particular row label right here, I just wanted to show what is going to make sense. So come right here and say show in tabular form, and come right here and say do not display the grand total for me, and this is what we have, right? Okay, now for the sake of we're gonna have to use filter, I'm gonna right click on it. I'm gonna go right to this particular field setting, right? I'm gonna go to the particular layout and print. I'm gonna say show item with no value, with no data. I'm gonna click on OK, and after I'm done with that, quickly I just want to right click again. I'm gonna go right to this particular pivot table option, and I'm gonna go right to this particular aspect here where it says for empty cells show just 0. Right for me, and that is all about that. So you should know about it, because if you don't know about this and you create some kind of analysis, you're gonna have some kind of weird thing happen when you use a filter right on it. So after we have done with this right now, I can actually go ahead and actually copy this right here. So I can decide to use what we call transpose. So I just want to see how many count are there. So it's just 5. So now just get a list of 5 right here. This is 3, 4, and 5, right? So put in your equal to and just type on the transpose function. So once you have it typed right here, is an array. So come right here and highlight those particular part right here you want to have right on that particular aspect. So go ahead and close it. Hold your Control and Shift all together and hit your Enter key, and you have them transposed for you. So why do we do this? Because we want to use this right on that particular part of our combo box. So right now, I love this. Nobody can come right here right now and actually have it deleted. So right now, if you want to actually have it deleted, this is what it is. So to have this deleted right now, you just have to highlight all of them together and delete them all at once. So let us go back to our dashboard environment right here. And here we go. So we just have to right click on this one and go to form control, and quickly we just have to come right here and populate what we have right here into that. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to come right here and just say display the 5 of it. Come right here and have the cell linked. Just want to link it. So I'm going to link it somewhere around here at the top level. I'm going to have to click on OK, and there we go. So right now we can see with our selection, we have this, right? So now that we've just gotten this done right now, it's time for we to get things done the way it should be. Okay, now I want to type my funny ads here. I'm going to type in here my serious. So serious arts here. And after I have done with this, so let's see what is the next level. So remember, on the dictionary, it says the one that is trying to be funny is actually the one that has true, while the first one is actually the serious one, right? So now how do we do that? Okay, to pull the information we want, I'm going to put my equal to right here and use the function called offset. And offset is looking for the reference, so we just want to give it this particular reference. And what we are trying to get right now, have my comment right here, is what rows do we want to get something from. So because we want to get for funny, and in the data dictionary it says funny is true. So how do we do that? We're going to use the number 1. So we're going to pull from 1 because here it starts from the 0. The position starts from 0, so we're trying to pull something from this true, so we use 1. And if I put my comment right on it, so what it's actually looking for is the columns that it should pull something from. I'm going to give it this particular number here. That is what switches the column for us, right? So now after this, I'm going to have it closed and I hit enter, and there we go, we have it. So right now, if we go for the third one, 1, 2, and 3, now it's pulling something from here for us. So now the next thing is going to be the same thing. So we just have to make sure we copy what we have right here and just make a little tweak to it. And I'm going to have it pasted right in here. So double click on it. Instead of 1 right here, we just have to make the 1 to be some kind of 0, and I'm going to hit enter, and here we go, we have something pulled away from here, which means the starting point is from 0. If you want to get something from the second one, it's going to be 1, this one is going to be 3, and all of that. I hope you understand what it is that I'm trying to do right here. It's very simple and easy. So we've just gotten this done, but we're not actually done from here. If you remember this particular part right here, so every single time we make changes, so what we see is this particular one right here, which says total YouTube view for funny arts, and it gives us this as well. So when we switch to something like this particular cost aspect of it, so it gives us this. So how can we do something like this? It's very simple and easy. We have to go back to the right workbook. Okay, to have this done right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say right here what is being selected. So now I just want to say equal to, and to just get what is being selected right now, I'm going to use my index right here, and the index is looking for the array. So I'm going to actually go here, comma, and I'm going to provide this and hit enter. So YouTube view is being selected. So right now it will be very easy for me to customize our captions. So I'm going to come right here, I'm going to say okay. So we have to first of all open double quotation mark and say total. So have to close it and concatenate it with this total YouTube view. So we have to close this ampersand right here under 1. So just have to type in 4, have it close again, and under ampersand right here. So funny arts. Can you get it? Can you get this right now? If I hit enter right now, it gives me total YouTube view for funny arts. So I can actually go ahead and actually double click on this and actually copy it away from here. So to make it faster, gonna have it pasted right in here. So double click on it and actually just move this away from here, and that is what it is. So right, can you see this right now? So if I go ahead and change this to 1, so it changes the right for me. So I'm gonna double click on this and I'm gonna go ahead and just give a space right here. If I hit enter right now, you can see that. So we have to put space between this particular part right here to just make sure it gives us a delimiter space. So now we have gotten this done. So what can we do? It is time for me to set on our visualization, right? So how do we do that? Let's go straight to the dashboard environment. So here we are at the dashboard environment right here. So let us see what we can do to make sure we present this data nicely to the end users. Okay, right now I'm going to go to the top level right here, go to insert illustrations and go to this particular aspect right here and pick this particular text box. So I'm going to drag the text box a little bit right here. So once I've done that, put my equal to right in here and go back to this particular aspect here and pick up this particular funny arts. If then be okay, I don't want to use this, right? I just want to come right here and type my funny arts, so it gives me rooms for me to actually get it some kind of formatted way I like. So I'm gonna come right here and make sure I centralize them. So I'm gonna come right to this particular aspect here and select something like this, and this is what it is for it. So I'm gonna come right here and just have it highlighted alone. So I'm gonna highlight this aspect here, so I'm gonna actually make it bold, and something like this would be very cool for me. I love it. So now I can actually go ahead and just Ctrl 1. So I'm gonna come right here and say no fill and no line. So I have something like this. So we just got it. So I can move it down to this particular aspect here. I can now go ahead and have this one doubled. I'm gonna bring this one right to this particular aspect here, I'm gonna type in here my funny, sorry, serious art. So we just have to make sure we stretch it and actually have it this way. So once we've gotten this right now, we just want to make sure they actually stay in the same line, so maybe to the top and all that. So we can bring it down a little bit. So now we've just gotten this done. So what next now is this. So I can go ahead right now here and actually highlight all of them, right? So once I've done that, I'm gonna actually go ahead and just bring this down here. So here we go. So now we just have to go back to the top level here. So I'm gonna select this one. So go back right here and actually pick for the funny art. Okay, come right here for the funny art. We know what it is. This is what we have right for the funny art. And quickly, I can actually do something very simple. So I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna have it pasted right in here and just change from 10. I think okay, it's gonna be still right on 10. I'm gonna change this one from E to F. And I hit enter and I have this. So hope you understand what I've done right here. So this one sits right on E, right? So it's sitting on F, and we can just change something like that. Let's change the formatting. So we just have to make sure we go ahead and use something like this, and I want to make it bold. So we just have to make it bolder, and I want to come right here and select something just like this for it, and we have it. So right now when we make changes, we're gonna see a reflection of what it is that we have just changed right here and all that, right? Can you see this right now? It's very awesome. I can decide to bring this down a little bit. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit to just create space for this one right here. And once I'm done with this now, I'm gonna come right here and just bring this one to the top level. I'm gonna bring it right here, and now I just have to double click on it and have inside of it. So I'm gonna just type add types, right? So add types right here, and I want to make sure I click on it and go to the top level. And here we're gonna go ahead and choose something like this one here, and I want to turn it to white, something like this. But I'm not seeing the reflections, so add type, right? Just put your S right inside it. So add type. So I'm not seeing the reflection right here very much, so I'm gonna Control 1. So here we go to this particular aspect here and shadow aspect, and I'm gonna go right here. I want to choose something like this. So we just have to go and play around with this and see what it is that we can actually achieve with this one right here. Just play around with it, you'll get what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna bring this one right to this particular aspect here, and now we just have to go ahead to the top level. I want to go ahead and just say equal to, and I want to come right here and pick this particular YouTube view, right? So once I've done this, I'm gonna go and actually make sure I actually make it white. So now here we go. When we make changes right now, what we see is this. Now it changes together alongside with it. The next thing again is to highlight them bold and actually drag them down for the next time. Now I just have to make sure I have them opened up like this and all that, so we don't feel like, okay, I'm not cool with what I have right now. I just want to make sure I use just one of it. So once I'm actually saturated, I can copy it to the next level. So what I'm gonna do right now is just for me to go right here, my equal to, and I'm gonna go down, and for funny art, this is what I have for funny art, right? I'm gonna pick it up, right? So once I've done this one here, I'm gonna actually have to open it up a little bit. So now I can double it and I actually have it for this one right here. So now I can actually go ahead and just do the same thing. Now for the next one, I'm gonna come right here and pick up this right for it. So once I've done this, now it's time for me to actually do the formatting. So let us highlight them bold. I'm gonna go to the top level right here. And now here we go. So I want to just select this one, go to the top level. So use this particular font type. And I just want to reduce it to 10.5. So just 10.5 will be cool for me. I want to come right here and change the color to something like this, and let's go down and see what it is that we have. Now we can see what it is. So we can actually open it up a little bit. So we can open it up and have something like this. So now we can just feel like, okay, we just want to move this one so that it can centralize with this, and here we go. Something like this is cool, but something is actually still missing. You have to watch to actually get it. So if I go on estimated cost right now, it's not giving me some kind of dollar sign, all of that. So how do we actually come up with it? Because if we want to actually add it right now, it's going to be on every part of this particular data, which is not something we really want. So how do we do this? When we actually select this particular estimated cost, we want to have some dollar sign right on it. So go back and customize that on your own. So here we go. Right here, what we need to do is just to have our dollar sign right here first for the first time. So input the dollar sign shift and the dollar sign on your computer right here. So once you've done this right now, so what I'm going to do right now, I can actually go ahead and copy this, or I can cut it away from here. So I've just got it cut away from here. So I'm going to use my if condition. I'm going to say if. Can you see this right now? So if this particular one here is equal to what we have right here, so this one, so I want you to give me this dollar sign. So if it is not, give me nothing. So I have it closed and I hit enter. So because it is, it's giving me the dollar sign right now. So if I select something else, right, like one, so it's going to actually get the dollar sign disappeared, right? So but if I select the second one, it gives me the dollar sign. So let us see how we can actually incorporate this to our dashboard. So I'm going to come right here and just select this and double it and bring it here. So right now I can go ahead and pick the dollar sign I have right for it. So here we go, we pick it up, we hit enter. So we just have to make sure it goes smaller like this. We just want to copy the same formatting for it. So I just want to go ahead and just, here we go. So once we've just gotten this right here, we can bring this right to this particular aspect, and we double it, and we just have to bring it down to this particular aspect here as well. So let's see what the magic is like. So once we select something else, the dollar sign disappears and all of that. So can you see how beautiful that is? But we're not still done away from here. So now we have one little problem right here, and the problem is going to be this particular TV view. So the TV view is actually showing in millions. So if I go back and actually format it right now, we just have to go right here and just Ctrl+1 will help us to get the number formatting, and here we go, we take off the extra decimal and we just go ahead and click on OK, and there we go, nicely. So coming back right now, this is what we see, but we can't really sure if this is on millions or whatsoever. So we just want to show this on millions, and I want to actually tell the viewers or these end users that what you are seeing right now is in millions. But if I go right to this particular YouTube view right now, it is very clear how much millions we have right here and stuff like that, So now how do we do this right here? It's very simple and easy. Go back to your analysis and actually have to configure this rightly for it. Okay, before we go ahead and do anything, so for you to obviously understand what I'm trying to say right now, the estimated cost is actually displayed in millions, right? And the YouTube view is displayed in millions, and the TV view actually got displayed in million. So we understood this from the data dictionary. Ordinarily, we would have done something weird if we don't actually watch what the data dictionary is all about. Okay, now what are we trying to do? Let's go back right here and see what it is that we're trying to get into. Now here we go. So what we need to do right now, I'm gonna say the same, almost the same. Okay, just get it deselected. I've used that previously. I'm gonna say equal to if here. Now if this particular one is equal to this particular estimated cost right here, so comma, and what we need to do right now is just like we just say display in millions. So if it is not, give us this and have it closed. And this time around I want to have it copied away from here, and now I'm gonna hit my enter key. I'm gonna come right here and have it pasted, double it, and now what we need to do right now, we just have to display the same thing for TV view. We just have to go right here and click on OK, right for it and all that. So now we have this one right here, and we have this one right here as well. So what I need to do right now for my TV view is going to be the fifth one, right? And I have it right on this. So quickly, I just want to go back to this particular aspect right here and just get this one and this one right all the way down. So now that we have this, so you just have to say, come right here and actually select this and go back to this particular aspect here. You have to pick this. I'm gonna hit my OK key. I'm gonna have to copy this as well. So I'm gonna come down to this particular aspect here, and I have to come right here and have it pasted. And once I'm done with that, I'm gonna have to just get them back down again. And once I've done this, I just want to go right here and select estimated cost. So for that, I'm going to be having on my estimated cost, I'm going to have to go and pick it up again so that I can know where it's kind of situated. So here we go, and then we just have to come right here and have this copied. So we just have to give this right for it, and here we go, nicely. So quickly, we can actually decide to format it with different color whatsoever. So I'm gonna have to highlight them both right now and go and actually choose on that color for it. So what if we go ahead and use this particular kind of color right here and go ahead and do the same thing to this as well. So do the same thing to this, and once we've done the same thing to this, we can actually have them held together. So here we go to the top left right here, and quickly we go to this particular aspect here and we'll say top, and now this is what it is. So right now, if I actually choose something different right now, like this particular records right now is not going to show up right on this particular aspect right here. So this is awesome, right? So this is what we are trying to actually get to create. Okay, let us quickly format this and for it to look some kind of very nice in it. So we just have something like this. I'm going to actually select this one right here. So we just have to make sure it goes this way. Okay, I think some kind of like loving the way it is right now. So what I'm going to do right now is just to go to the top level right here and actually select insert, and from there illustration, and now I want to pick what we call lines. So this one right here, you just have to come right here and just drag this, hold my shift key and drag it down to this level, and Ctrl 1 will help me to get what I want to have right to use for it. So we go with this, and that is what it is. So now we just have to duplicate this and actually move this right here for this one right now. So, and something like this would be cool for me. So we can actually go ahead and actually switch between this right now, and this is what we have. So awesome, right? Awesome. So quickly we just have to come right here and actually have this one change to a different color. So go right here and come to the particular aspect here, and we can actually go ahead and use something like this, and now this is what it is. So things